Up, posse? My name is Will, and welcome to another review here on Alpha Omega Wolf Productions. So, let's talk about Balto. I requested this movie to Jessup a few days ago after we reviewed when we were talking about doing the Super Mario Brothers movie. And this movie came out a little while ago, and it stars Kevin Bacon, Bridget Fonda, Phil Collins, Bob Hoskins, and Jim Cummings. As this is kind of a true story, we'll get to that.
Very loosely.
Very
You can't even say it's based anymore.
About an epidemic that infects a town of Nome, Alaska. And so a team of sled dogs have to bring the medicine from one end of Alaska to the other.
Yep. So this, as it is, it's not bad. The animation's great. The music's great and all that. It's just really the plot and knowing that it is so historically inaccurate that really just drags it down.
No,
as is, it's good, not great.
No, I totally agree. This is just a good movie. It's something I 100% would see again, for the animation and music. And yes, I would gripe that the story isn't very historically accurate, but everything else, it kind of outweighs everything else.
Yeah, going into this was my actually first time seeing the whole thing. I had seen bits and pieces of it already, and I was aware of the story and everything. But this was my first time just sitting down and watching the whole thing.
No, this was a childhood favorite of mine. That and like Land Before Time, Lion King, and a bunch of other popular animated movies. And I will admit that I don't like it as much when I was an adult. Now that I'm an adult, but I'm still pretty fond of this movie.
Yeah, I can understand that too.
I mean, you got Kevin Bacon voicing the lead Balto, who in this movie is part wolf and part husky.
Which is not accurate. First of all, he was Siberian.
Yes, he was just a Siberian husky. You have Bob Hoskins playing Boris, the Russian goose. He was the comic relief, but also were the polar bears Muck and Luck, who were both voiced by Phil Collins. Now, we talked about this when we were watching this movie. We don't think we need 3 comic reliefs.
Yeah. Bob Hoskins is more than enough. I love by myself as Bob Hoskins.
Even though most of the stuff he does was hit and miss.
Yeah. I think it's because his character was made up, so they just didn't know what to do with him.
No, because I'm pretty sure, with the exception of Balto, I'm pretty sure a lot of these people were made up for the movie.
Bridget Fonda as Jenna the dog Balto likes.
And Jim Cummings as the notorious Steel.
The villain, let's talk about that villain.
I will say, in terms of underrated animated movies, he's probably among the best villains.
Yeah, he is so hateable. Like, if you thought Frollo was bad, he still is, but Steel is awful too.
No, and they don't even try to hide the fact that he's evil.
Just the design.
I'm pretty sure Jim Cummings had a blast just doing the voice for this guy.
Yeah. And
whoever did the people who did the animation, I'm sure they had a great time animating him throughout the whole thing.
Oh yeah, that goes without saying.
Oh, and another thing that was pretty interesting is that this was two of the executive producers were Kathleen Kennedy and Steven Spielberg.
Yeah.
Which is pretty amazing.
Yeah, I know she is right nowadays. Kennedy's best known for producing the recent Star Wars movies.
Yep.
But what I find amazing is that her career goes back even further to the 80s, and man, are there a ton of classic films from the 80s that she worked on: Roger Rabbit, Back to the Future, Jurassic Park, E.T., Poltergeist, Gremlins, Goonies. The list goes on. And also, just to prove it, she has a cameo in Temple of Doom.
She's proven that she can do good stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, her resume does not lie.
Yeah. And sure, there's some not good movies like Last Airbender.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever. It all, when you put it all together, it all bounces out to a pretty impressive resume.
Yeah. But yeah, I recommend this movie if you haven't seen it yet. It's good to pass an hour and 20 minutes. It's not perfect. It 100% has its flaws, but has some memorable characters, great music, beautiful animation. Even though the story isn't very meh, it's still an enjoyable ride.
Yeah, it's cute. That's the best way to describe it. It's cute.
All right, so what are we going to do next week?
Well, next week's we're going to start setting up for the Oscars.
Oh, yes. So next week, we're going to be doing an Oscars prediction video, which I am going to work on in a bit, my predictions. But then next
Not
week,
good to go.
All right. But then we're going to give you guys what we think.
Yeah, so there'll be no review next week or the week after. It's just going to be us bring back an old tradition of the show.
Yeah, so we're gonna talk about the Oscars throughout the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So if you did enjoy this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you're new, subscribe for more content. And until next time, see you later, Posse.